On Monday, federal prosecutors filed to dismiss charges against open internet activist Aaron Swartz, who hung himself on Friday in New York. Swartz was 26 years old. Federal authorities had charged him with illegal access to millions of academic articles through services at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, and he was facing decades in prison. MIT's president sent an email to the school on Sunday saying he has launched an analysis of the school's role in the incident. The death of Swartz has also sparked calls for action on the issues of free access to information that he championed. In Washington, FSRN's Alice Olstein reports.
Computer programmers, open information activists, and the wider online community are mourning the death of Aaron Swartz, whose body was found in his Brooklyn apartment on Friday. Swartz, who created RSS technology and co-founded the web forum Reddit, was a prolific writer and speaker on politics, coding, his own mental health, and other issues. In an interview for the documentary series Steal This Film in 2007, he spoke about preserving the internet as a force for empowerment and equality.
On the internet, everybody can have a channel. Everyone can get a blog or a MySpace page. Everyone has a way of expressing themselves. And so what you see now is not a question of who gets access to the airwaves. It's a question of who gets control over the ways you find people.
An online statement from Swartz's parents and girlfriend blamed his death on those pursuing a legal case against him, calling his suicide, quote, the product of a criminal justice system rife with intimidation and prosecutorial overreach. In the summer of 2011, the Massachusetts U.S. Attorney's Office accused Swartz of breaking into a restricted computer at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology and downloading millions of academic articles from the database JSTOR. They originally charged him with wire fraud, computer fraud, unlawfully obtaining information from a protected computer, and recklessly damaging a protected computer. But last September, they announced a superseding indictment that increased the number of charges to 13, which could have landed Swartz in prison for 50 years or more. U.S. Attorney Carmen Ortiz put out a statement about the case in 2011 saying, quote, stealing is stealing, whether you use a computer command or a crowbar, and whether you take documents, data, or dollars. The trial was set to begin this April. News of Swartz's suicide has already inspired a range of actions, from attacks on the websites of the Justice Department and MIT to calls for the repeal of the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act under which he was charged, to pledges to carry on his open data campaigns. Josh Levy with the organization Free Press, who worked with Swartz on several issues, called it a big moment for internet activism.
The fight that he was engaging in, which was making information that he thought led to a better democracy, that led to a more informed public, making that information free and open and accessible, I think, if anything, this moment has galvanized people to try to make that happen even more.
The tragedy has also inspired action in the world of academia. Friends and admirers of Swartz put out a call on Reddit over the weekend for professors around the world to share protected articles with the public. One of many to answer the call is American University anthropology professor Adrienne Pine.
I mean, I basically put out there something that I'm already doing and that, technically is illegal. That when I have friends or colleagues who really want to access articles, I mean, it's a fundamental belief of mine that information should be publicly available and free. And so I give them my password so that they can access that, because I don't think it's only the hyper-privileged among us in society, like myself, a professor, upper middle class, white woman, who should have access to this kind of quote-unquote expert knowledge.
Activists also plan to honor Swartz on the upcoming one-year anniversary of the internet blackout protest against the anti-piracy bills in Congress called SOPA and PIPA. Swartz was a key voice in the successful battle against the legislation, which would have cracked down on any use of copyrighted material. Levy and others are currently planning on and offline actions for January 18th. Alice Olstein, FSRN, Washington.